Let's talk a little bit. I know you've had this topic on Browns 3D. Michael Mayer is available. I had the same reaction you did. I'm like, young guy, pretty good player, can block a little, can catch a little. Seems like he'd fit with the Browns offense.
Well, first off, there's dots to connect. Notre Dame, Tommy Rees. There's the first one right off the bat. Second one, yes. Michael Myers, and I believe it was 12 or 13 as far as run blockers last year in the NFL. Keep in mind, he did miss, I think it was 7. It was either 6 or 7 games that he missed last year. Not a lot has been spoken about that. It wasn't necessarily an injury. So that's, obviously something if you were looking to acquire him, you would probably want a little bit more information on. Look, it sounded and seemed odd when the Raiders, after drafting Michael Myers in the second round, 35th overall, came back the following draft and drafted Brock Bowers. Well, when we saw what Brock Bowers did last year, guess what? Obviously, the move was the correct move to make for them. He can play with his hand in the dirt. He can play with his hand in the dirt the entire time. It allows you to do more things with David Njoku. Make him play him as a big slot. Line him up wide. Use him as an H-back. David Njoku is a guy that can create mismatches. So you allow you more opportunity to do that. There's a couple of passes I see here. Now, I don't know, and it's kind of hard to figure. And, me from the guys in the OBR, we were trying to figure out what exactly, if you were going to give up a pick, is Michael Mayer worth? I don't want to give up my first 5. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to give up to picks 103. I want those first 5 picks. And the other thing is I might be thinking right now I'm going to draft a tight end with those first 5 picks in the top 103. So now, can I maybe interest them in a Martin Emerson? Martin Emerson, bigger, longer, cornerback, kind of guy that would have been successful in Pete Carroll's heyday in Seattle. Those are the types of corners that Pete likes. Then I actually got a message a little later, and it was, hey, DTR, Las Vegas kid, Chip Kelly, with the Raiders. And I'm not saying that these are a 1-for-1 swap. Obviously, some loose change involved somewhere. But Martin Emerson and the Browns are in this odd situation with Emerson and Newsome because, look, both these guys want every opportunity to find a way to get their contract extension and get a big one. And, where it comes, getting that second contract. And maybe the two of them on the same team doesn't necessarily work for either one of them in that facet. I'm sure Newsome would love to get back on the outside and say, hey, this is where I want to get paid. I don't want to get paid as a nickel. I want to get paid as an outside corner, which he was good at, in his rookie year. So, it seems to me there's a real easy way to kind of line this up. And for the Browns, and the other thing is, not that I'm down now on this tight end class, but I think as excited as we all were about this tight end class, once the combine and the workouts, and keep in mind some of the bigger names, Warren, Loveland, Arroyo, didn't work out. I think after the tight end workouts were over, everyone was kind of like, oh, I think we were all geeked, all jazzed, and then it was kind of like, maybe we didn't get exactly, what we were essentially hoping for. You tell me I can bring in Michael Mayer. He's a second receiving option at the tight end position. I'm getting a plus run blocker. Makes too much sense for me.